A man was found dead with a cassette recorder in one hand and a gun in the other. When the police came in, they immediately pressed the play button on the cassette. He said, "I have nothing else to live for. I can't go on." Then the sound of a gunshot. After listening to the cassette tape, the police knew that it was not a suicide. How did they know? A Japanese ship was en route to the open sea. The captain went for a shower, removing his ring and keeping it on the table. When he returned, he found it had gone missing. The captain immediately called the 3 suspected crew members and asked each one where they were and what were they doing in the last 15 minutes. The cook said, "I was in fridge room getting meat for cooking." The engineer said, "I was working on generator engine." The seaman said, "I was on the mast correcting the flag which was upside down by mistake." The radio officer said, "I was messaging to a company about the arrival." The navigation officer said, "I was sleeping in my cabin." The captain immediately caught the thief. How did he know? One evening there was a murder in the home of a married couple, their son and daughter. One of these 4 people murdered one of the others. One of the members of the family witnessed the crime. The other one helped the murderer. These are the things we know for sure. 1. The witness and the one who helped the murderer were not of the same sex. 2. The oldest person and the witness were not of the same sex. 3. The youngest person and the victim were not of the same sex. 4. The one who helped the murderer was older than the victim. 5. The father was the oldest member of the family. 6. The murderer was not the youngest member of the family. Who was the murderer? A man was shot to death while in his car. There were no powder marks on his clothing, which indicated that the gunman was outside the car. However, all the windows were up and the doors locked. After a close inspection was made, the only bullet holes discovered were on the man's body. How was he murdered? Alex Parrish was so frustrated to be the suspect of being a sleeper terrorist that in her bathroom she shoot herself right between the eyes with a revolver. The revolver and the bullets were real. Minutes later, Alex Parrish walks out from the bathroom unharmed. How can this be possible? A mad serial killer kidnaps people and forces them to play the game of 2 pills with them. In this game, there are pills in the table and one of them is normal pill while the other one is deadly poisonous. The victim will choose one pill and the killer will pick the other pill and both simultaneously will swallow the pill with water. And victim dies every time. One day the serial killer kidnaps the Hercule Poirot and forces him to play the same game with him. Poirot solves the mystery of the 2 pills and remains alive. How did he solved? A couple went on for their honeymoon trip. But only the husband returned from the vacation and said that his wife met an unfortunate accident and died. The police arrested him saying, "Your travel agent called, you murdered your wife." How did the agent know that it was a murder? After undergoing a successful eye operation, a blind girl has just boarded a train to her home. The doctor asked her to open the bandages after 3 hours. On her train journey, she opened the bandages and within a fraction of the time she commits suicide by jumping off the train. Though her operation was successful, why did she commit suicide? A couple reported a robbery. The husband told the policeman that he thinks that the burglar presumably entered the house by breaking through the window, pointing to the broken window glasses on the outside of the house. The policeman noticed that the inside of the house only a few tiny pieces of window glass particles scattered around near the broken window area and told him that it was not a burglary and no outsider has entered his house through that window. What made the policeman so sure? A famous chemist was found murdered. The police knew that 2 people were involved in the murder. They found a note that written by the chemist which read 26-3-58/28-27-57-16. After reading the note, the police immediately caught the murderers. How did they know? While attending her mother's funeral, a woman meets a man she's never seen before. She quickly believes him to be her soulmate and falls head over heels. But she forgets to ask for his number, and when the wake is over, try as she might, she can't track him down. A few days later she murders her sister. Why did that happen?